we come up with the name in the last session. So it was AI Kingdom.
Yep.
I know there's a few people out there that may be using that as well. So sorry if we have stolen your name. But no one seems to be doing big things with it.
Yeah, particularly on YouTube. I haven't
Yeah.
really searched everything else, but yeah, we came up with sort of a graphic. We've kind of come close to finalizing that for the time being. And then we came up with market research. Did some kind of rough market research on who our target market is, who we're writing content for, who we're producing content for. And all with ChatGPT mostly. So we didn't actually go out and do real market research. We just leveraged ChatGPT to help us dial in a couple of avatars that meet our requirements. Now, the other thing we wanted to talk about in this episode, well, is it what did you want to talk about this episode, Nathan? Was there something in particular?
No, I guess, nothing in particular. I had some ideas like from through the week. I guess we could go through stuff that we've been using, like GPT-4. I'm subscribed to the Pro version now, so
when you say GPT-4, you saying
GPT-3?
GPT-3. Okay, yeah, you're talking about the fast model on ChatGPT. Have you seen that? With the premium thing.
Did you end up subscribing as well?
I did. Yeah, I did. When the day it was released in Australia, I subscribed and been messing around with it. Everyone's preferring so for those who are listening and who are still using ChatGPT on the free account and how buggy it is, they've released their subscription plan, which is $20 US a month as the time of recording this, and they've also rolled it out to Australia, which is great, so we can access it. And when I logged in for the first time, to my knowledge, or to my surprise, I should say, there were two different model options. One was the one that everyone was using. It was just less laggy because there wasn't huge server overload. But there's also a speed model, an optimized for speed model. And as of yesterday or the day before, they have had heaps of customer feedback and they've decided to set the optimized model as the default model. So we are now using the optimized model, and it's a lot faster to what I was used to on the free plan, that's for sure. And yesterday
I'd have to provide a more detailed. I tried then just to quickly see if it's
aware of the optimizations,
or just to see what sort of response it would get. But it didn't seem to be noticeably different. But I guess it is.
I found it a lot faster in terms of just like the latency of it responding. It's subtle, but particularly when it came to writing code. I've been doing a lot of code writing to help me to get ChatGPT to help me with prompt engineering, and we just had this ongoing discussion about this Python function that I was writing at the time. That we slowly came up with ideas on how to write these really complicated prompts to create long form content, like a script or an article that's well over like 5,000, 10,000 words. Because you always exceed the maximum token size, which is much bigger on the DaVinci 003 model, and I think this is equivalent to the 003.5 model on ChatGPT. But when you're interfacing with the API, you're limited to 4,096 tokens, which I think is about 3 tokens. What is it? It's either one character is about 3 or 4 tokens, or the other way around. Yeah, I can't remember exactly. Anyway, so one of the biggest challenges is if you're saying, write a story about something, you then hit some limitations on that story. If your prompt is literally write a story with a beginning, middle, and end in the style of X author, then the output will be 4,096 tokens converted to characters, or 4,000-ish, and it will have a beginning, middle, and end. So if you then want to keep writing by providing context in a loop to continue the story, you're going to have a new story that has a beginning, middle, and end if you're using the same prompt over and over again. So that's a kind of a difficult challenge to solve. There's a few ways to go about it. One is to outline the story initially with GPT and then iterate through the headings. The other is to have different prompts for different sections. Like,
I had an example of that working at some stage, because I found someone else that was doing something. They were asking it to write a story. I'll see if I can find the prompt, because it was pretty interesting. It was basically an iterative way to get it to keep writing and writing and writing.
Yeah, so that's there. I'd love to see that. I've been working on some examples myself on how to do that. One thing that I do in my agency all the time is ask GPT to define the outline of an article, or manually define the outline of an article with like a JSON array. And say, for instance, a blog post, and we get GPT to write the outline, and then it goes through each heading and fills the thing. But it's challenging when you have to give it a specific word count that it needs to meet, and that's what we do. Is like we make sure that whatever articles we write are competitive to its competition and needs to meet a specific word count, and have specific headings to consider comprehensively covered that topic.